On Wednesdays, they have abortions down here in Ventura at the Planned Parenthood. We see girls come and go. We see the truck come and pick up all the aborted babies. We see the whole thing down here, and it's really sad. If you live down here in Ventura and you're a Christian, and this doesn't upset you or bother you at all, you should look in your heart and see if you're really saved, if Christ is really in you. Because if you're saved, if you're really a Christian, then this should affect you. You should actually care about this. I have a good friend, a really nice guy, good guy, missionary, and he told me that he hates abortion. All right, that he just hates abortion. And I told him, no, you don't hate abortion. You know, anybody that says they hate abortion but doesn't do anything about it at all doesn't hate abortion. The word hate means at enmity with, that you are at like war with, that you are confronting, that you have opposition against. You know, like God hates sin. God is at enmity with man when he sins, you know. So you can't say that you hate abortion if you're not doing anything about it. If you're not helping the church, if you're not helping Crisis Pregnancy Center, if you're not protesting, if you're not doing something, then you can't say that you hate abortion. So anybody that actually has an abortion, all right, is actually killing their own child, killing their own baby. All right. So the reason we're down here is we want to let people know that if you care about these kids, if you care about these women having abortions, you should do something about it. You know. Don't be apathetic to the problem, to the situation. Don't just ignore it. A lady today stopped while we were out here and said, "Why do you have a sign up that says church as usual?" You know, and the reason I had this sign up, "Church as usual," is because almost nobody in the church cares. I mean, there's a church right across the street from Planned Parenthood. They're singing, they're preparing sermons, they're doing all these things, but are they doing anything about abortion? I don't know, really. You know, the pastors come out and talk to me, but it doesn't, you know, and a couple of people from the church come out and talk to me, but they haven't told me anything that they're actually doing, any fruit that they're having, you know, because faith without works is dead. There's no faith without works. So they should be doing something. They should be having some fruit. If you're a Christian and you have no fruit in your life, you know, if you can't see any evidence of Christ living in you, then you really need to look at your heart and see if Christ is actually in you. You know, if you're really born again. You know, the Bible talks about, you know, how many people will go to heaven and Christ will turn them away and say, "I never knew you." So anyway, you know, every Wednesdays they have abortions down here. Planned Parenthood. Keep rolling. Planned Parenthood does over 4,000 abortions a day. Planned Parenthood has made last year almost $1 billion. Okay, if you live in Ventura County, you need to know that they're killing babies here. All right, and you're going to have some responsibility for that. If you're a Christian, you're going to have some responsibility for that. You're going to be held accountable by God, even if you've never had an abortion. Just the fact that you've never done anything about it. You've never spoken. You never spoke up. You never protested. You never helped Crisis Pregnancy Center. You never did anything, all right? In your town, they're killing babies, all right? In your town, for the most part, from what I can see, Christians aren't doing anything. Christians should be ashamed of themselves that that thousands of babies are getting killed in their city. You know, we have a church right across the street. How can a pastor sit down and prepare his sermon if he could see what was happening in these walls? You know, how can the guys prepare to tune their instruments when, you know, right at their doorsteps, you know, there's babies, you know, dead babies. You know, Christians just totally ignore Planned Parenthood. All right, here in their city, they don't care. You know, there's even Christians that think that abortion is a person's right, that abortion should be legal. You know, and all I can say is they'll be held accountable someday. So anyway, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching this. And church as usual. The only people that showed up here today were some Catholics, and the Catholics are usually out here every Wednesday, the day that they have abortions. And I want to thank God for those faithful people that show up. And I hope to see some Christians out here and some other concerned citizens, people that think that abortion is wrong and it is actually killing babies. So thank you very much. Bye.
Since 1973, over 44 million unborn babies have been murdered, and our nation was silent. Another day goes by and the angels on the front lines cry. Another day goes by and the angels on the front lines cry. Them say, why oh why did this baby have to die? This precious little life supposed to protect was I. Why oh why did this baby have to die? This precious little life supposed to protect was I. Why oh why did angels cry? A word to the wise, or should I say not so wise? Don't you understand that this thing that you call her is your baby girl's little life? Just because your baby was conceived in sexual immorality, fornication, it does not mean she's an accident, a mess up. She's a specially woven creation, not just an obligation. How is it then that you justify your action? How is it that you say your baby girl is nothing more than a has-been? Someone who got in the way, who just added weight. She made my back to ache. What about your baby? Did you ask her how she felt? Sadly neglected, rejected by mommy and daddy, longing to hear your words of endearment, tears of joy, maybe an I love you. Is it a girl? Is it a boy? What about her life? And what about her rights? Does she get to choose if she lives or dies? Nuh-uh. Why? Cause you didn't listen to her cries, consumed by your selfish, self-seeking lies. How about prison for life? Or the electric chair, an eye for an eye? Is that not the penalty for murder in this nation? Oh, I'm sorry, it's a week before she's born, therefore a government-paid operation? Wasting a life as far as I'm concerned. If fair was fair, your tombstone will be written. You'll be buried next to your baby in a cemetery. But nuh-uh, quite on the contrary. You walk mile after mile, only because God gives you grace that you never gave to your child. You never gave it to her. Why oh why did this baby have to die? This precious little life supposed to protect was I. Why oh why did this baby have to die? This precious little life supposed to protect was I. Why oh why did angels cry?
Hi, this is Todd out here outside of Planned Parenthood. Would you please introduce yourself?
I'm Father Bob Urin at Our Lady of the Assumption over here in Ventura.
Great. Every Wednesday I see you guys out here. Is it pretty much the same group of people, or do you have new people that come out all the time?
It seems like pretty much a regular group. In fact, they come in shifts. Like for instance, they just started the 9 o'clock shift, and they're out here pretty much. They're very faithful about being out here week after week, and their heart is directed towards God. They want people to know that life is more important.
I'm very thankful you guys are out here. So I met Mel and a couple of the other guys out here, and great guys, and proud of them. Proud of you and your church for doing this. So,
well, I've seen it's more than just the Catholic Church. I've seen that the Catholic Church tends to have more people out, but it is something whereas anyone who has a faith in Christ, we all have a role that we play in this to let them know Christ is the one through whom all things are made, and God is the author of life, so we have to stand for Him, every one of us.
Why oh why did this baby have to die? This precious little life supposed to protect was I. Why oh why did this baby have to die? This precious little life supposed to protect was I.